Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. As you noticed, that didn't have a crazy big snap to it. This thing's still brand spanking new and not broken in. This is the Buck Knives 254 Odessa. It's a frame lock. It's pretty sweet. I saw this sitting in a store and I couldn't believe the price tag. It was sub 30 bucks. On Buck's own website, it's $27.99. It's a soft open right now, and I'm just getting used to it. Like, I can flick it a little bit harder sometimes, and sometimes it just comes soft. But it's a frame lock. It's got a metal all the way around. Let's see. Metal frame. We are looking at obviously a drop point with a blade thickness of 0.110 inches. We have a blade length of 3.18 inches. We have a handle made of stainless steel. Okay, there's not a whole lot of information, but it's Buck. So it's, what was the steel? 7CR, I think. I think that's what it was. I think it's a 7CR. Yes, 7CR stainless, drop point, blah, 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 blah. So it's pretty basic. It's just literally, and I was going to do part 1 and part 2 on these knife reviews, but on something like this, I don't have to because we're pretty much done talking about this one. It's really clean. It's really freaking clean. Typical Buck. It's got a hollow grind. It is really smooth. It just needs to be broken in. It's kind of good, but still sometimes I'll miss a hard flip on it. But let's see how sharp the old Buck is. So it looks, okay, never mind. I was gonna say it looks like it maybe not be shaving, and then I found myself to be wrong. Just came down to angle, because that thing is super razor sharp. I didn't realize how sharp that was at first. I then found out that is smooth right there. I could literally tattoo on that area. That's nice and smooth. All right, so as usual, Buck sent me not sent me. I actually picked this up. Buck made a sharp knife. So there's not a lot to do because this is literally like an EDC gentleman's carry type knife. This isn't your crazy go blast through stuff knife, but at least we're gonna cut with it. So let's see here. We're gonna take it outside and cut too. But yeah, so there's not a lot we're gonna end up doing with it. Just, you want to see that it's a nice clean knife. I mean, if you EDC knives, you know what to expect from an EDC knife. You know what should be used crazily and what should not. This one should not. This should be just a good knife to use for cutting things open that you need cut open. This is your box knife, your package knife. And we want to know, is it your emergency knife? Is it that extra, what if it's the only knife I have knife and I need to get stuff done knife? That's what we want to know. So let's get a good look at it in the sun. You can see it really is a good looking knife. I think Buck knocked it out of the park as far as design on this. The contouring in the grip here is really well done. All right, so let's see. Ooh, all right. So that's one thing about a hollow grind is, man, it's gonna come ready to go. As far as sharp, you're gonna find hollows to be pretty sharp generally if they're done right, and it's because the blade steel is caving in on itself, it's forcing an edge. And this thing is no different from any other that I've tried. As far as that's concerned, you think about it, you have like convex looks like this, right? You have two rounded pieces coming up to make an edge. You're gonna find that in a lot of hacking blades and a lot of like hatchets and things like that. And then you're gonna have flat grinds where they're just completely flat. You might have one like a wedge grind, but with hollow, they do this. You know what I mean? It kind of, they go this way. So while it's thinner and you have a bigger risk of breaking it by doing something stupid, this brings it as close to a razor edge as you can get. It makes it really, really thin. And obviously the thinner, then usually it is the easier to cut through something, slicing wise anyway. So that's what we have here. So let's bring you guys to a level you can actually see this with. And close enough, I think. Close enough. Maybe not. Hold on a second. Worst video ever. All right, so let's try a push cut and a 1/2-inch nylon rope. We'll just see if we can't. All right, so I muzzled it, but I didn't have to do any sawing. That's a straight up push cut. That's pretty good. Let's see. 4 inches of belt here. I mean 4 inches, 4 layers of belt. 4 inches. Okie dokie, Mr. English. Easy money. Easy money. There's not a lot we can do because it's just a straight up EDC, but let's see. All right. Let's see. We'll even give it a couple taps. Now this wood isn't very good, but when you're out and about and you need to get down some wood for maybe kindling, or you need to use wood as like some kind of wedge, you don't always get your pick. And if it's a temporary thing especially, then it really doesn't matter. If you're just, especially if let's say I have two things putting together and I need to put a wedge in between them to make something fit tight. Let's say your axe head loosens, right? And you have a standard wooden handle axe, and you all of a sudden need a little piece of sliver of something. This kind of knife right here is something that you'd be able to absolutely do that with. Make yourself a nice little piece to fit in there and things like that. It's just going to be a really basic, just everyday carry knife. There is nothing spectacular about this, but there's nothing about it that doesn't say you wouldn't want to carry it. You know what I mean? It's one of those in between knives. But if I am stuck with it and I'm out and about and I'm in the woods and I end up catching myself some kind of game, am I going to be able to take off some of that hide? Absolutely. Absolutely. Am I going to be able to skin with it? Absolutely. It's just nice and sharp, and it has a really good blade angle. The blade profile is good. Let's see how it handles the old blade killing net here. Well, that was actually way too easy. So being a hollow grind and being well sharpened, which pretty much most bucks are out of the box, it's not going to have any problems with stuff like that. Not at all. Let's take it over to the other stump and see if we can get like some really good feathers with it. As far as in the hand, it's comfortable. It's comfortable. The grip is long enough to fit a double X hand, especially when you are pulling your thumb up to the top for precision cutting and you're using that thumb to aim and steer. It's actually pretty good. That's pretty damn good, man. All right, let's see here. There we go. Let's dig it down. And let's pull it back. Ooh, those are fine. They just fell right off of there, though. So let's see if we can't keep some on. Holy Moses. All right, so this thing is a feathering machine. Those are nice. If you do have to make a fire and you have your regular camp knife and you don't want to destroy your camp knife's edge, for things like that, this might be a really, really good little option for you. Not so bad, man. Let's see some of these. Ooh, wow. So absolutely, this thing is made for a purpose. It's just made to cut. Let's see if we can't notch with it. I have no doubts in that, actually. But yeah, so notching, things like that is going to be really simple. If you have to make spears and arrows and pit spikes and tent spikes and anything of that nature, it's a cutter. It's an absolute cutter. But mainly, this thing is a pocket rider. This is one of those knives where you're out with your buddies and somebody needs to open something or cut something, open a package, those plastic packages that are inhumanely hard to open that you buy. Somebody, hey man, you got a knife on you? Yep, this thing is going to get the job done, and it's going to get the job done for under 30 bucks. And if I can find it on the website for under 30 bucks, that means you can find it in stores and eBays and things like that for under 30 bucks. And is it worth less than $30? Yeah. I mean, I would pay anywhere up to about 40 bucks for this. That's where I would put the value on this knife. It's just a nice knife. It's clean. Is it your greatest knife ever? Nope. Is it the best knife you're going to have in your collection? Nope, unless you have a really crappy collection. But this isn't a bad knife. I don't mean it as it'd be a crappy, you'd have to have a crappy collection. This would be the best in your crappy collection if that's what it came down to. But this is pretty nice, man. It's a sweet little buck. This is actually going in my pocket with me. I got league bowling later. And for some reason, I always end up needing a knife at some point, and so do other people. And it's funny how everybody knows, come to me when they need a knife when we're there. But yeah, this is the Odessa, the 254 Odessa by Buck. And I have to say, winner, chicken dinner. This thing's not bad. The price tag is going to, oh, that's better. After using it, the price tag will impress you. The price tag will impress you once it's in your hand and you start cutting. You're going to think, that's a great sub, 30 bucks. All right, so that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.